Hello my little doggies, welcome back to my channel. If you want to learn how to build this hot cocoa cafe, then stick with me because that is what I'm gonna teach you today on this channel. And the first thing I am doing is, as usual, placing down some path to delimit the building. This is gonna be Coco's home because what is better than Coco for the hot cocoa cafe? And I like to do this, as you may know, because it helps me with the home placement. It saves times if I am not happy with whatever I want to do, and also because this cliff was a bit weird. It's my original cliff and I didn't want to change it too much. So I wanted to work with this, and then I am placing my path. It is a bit complicated just because I didn't want to redo the same plaza I have been doing twice already on this island, and I wanted to change a bit. And so I was struggling because this cliff layout is a bit more natural. This is how I like to end my cliff, not being a huge square but a bit more natural. And sadly, it is not working well with those straight lines and paths. And because I was not using a natural path that is more zigzagging, I was really struggling with placing my path. And as you can see, I decided to start also pathing out to the beach. And honestly, this is one of those builds that is just like, trust the process and you will end up with something. So I had a good idea on what I wanted, but when I started to execute, I realized it was not looking like I imagined it and I envisioned it. I imagined something way more natural. I did not think that the layout of the path was not gonna stick and everything. And this is something I will cover in any future videos, so don't hesitate to stick with me if you want to learn more on how to make better builds. But usually I plan my builds and it does not end up as I want it to be. Often my builds are trust the process and see where you go, even though I have vague ideas in my head. And this was one of them, because the path and the plaza was not at all going in the direction I wanted. And you may see already that I'm struggling to lay down this path. I don't know how to go, I don't know how to make it natural and unnatural at the same time. I am not a decor queen, so I am doing my best to have something that I like and to work against my envy to just like rip this path away and just take something natural and start over. And that is also a challenge I like, being confronted to something I am not used to. So this is what I'm doing, trying to lay out my path, and then once the path is done, I'm just gonna do the angles and filling off camera, because I think filling a path is the easiest part of it. I think shaping it was the hardest, so I left that here for you. And in this video, I kind of left a bit more my struggles. I usually tend to remove them from the final footage, so you see something that is more cohesive. But today I wanted to show my process and a bit more insight of how I struggle. And then I decided to place Coco's home because I was quite happy with the layout I had, and filling in some of the small plaza areas and sidewalks with my path. And then I started to decorate because I feel like it's easier to do some adjustments afterwards to the path while you have some decoration on, because of course when the build is all naked, if I might say, then it looks very weird. And I started to do the little cafe, and I wanted to have like one part with like some Christmas ornaments selling and one part with more the cafe part of it, like a cozy Christmas market as you may find them in Europe. Because if you don't know, I'm from Belgium and this is something we love, having like our Christmas market. Then I decided to have a display having a big water tank, to have like maybe the coffee dispenser and then a kettle to people to have some teas. And then I wanted to have also a Yule log, like as if you would grab a bite as when you're grabbing your hot cocoa or your coffee. And then I decided to have a more natural part on the little side, just because I could not find a path that could cover this cliff and it was looking a bit weird, and so I thought that it could be cute to have a bit of nature. But then I also wanted to have the coffee plant over there, just the pot was not working for me, so I decided to hide it with bushes. And in the end I like it, and I thought then it would be a nice idea to incorporate those glowing moss tools that I'm using more and more as like snowballs, and I use them a lot in my campsite. If you want to see that video, I will link it that for you. And then in the middle of the plaza, of course, I added another Christmas tree, festive trees they are called, just for the festiveness of all this island. I know it's past Christmas, but this island is still on Christmas theme, so I really want to have like festive stuff all over the place. And then I didn't know I don't know how to explain, but what I should place in that weird portion that is like behind the plaza and just like weirdly placed. So I decided in the end that we should maybe have an overlook. Like I took some train tracks designs and I wanted to do some train tracks overlook somewhere, and then I kind of forgot I had them. So when I was like trying to find ideas, I was not planning on using that here. But in the end, I thought like it could be a fun idea. I will extend the train tracks on the beach later on because this is very cute. I just did not do it in this video because I still have tons of house on the beaches, because this is where I store all the houses while I'm decorating. This will be also spoken into the video where I try to explain my process for building. And so I decided that, yeah, maybe we should not let people access the train tracks. It could just be like a small toy display or something that you can watch but not touch. People would have an access to the beach. I would still like forbid them to access the train tracks. So I started to find some way, and that is why I used the fencing, the topiary and the bushes to have a mix and match on how to block access to those train tracks. And I swear this was something that just came as I was placing items. I thought of other items and how to incorporate them, and in the end it looked very well. So it was really a trust the process because I had nothing in my mind. And then I used those throwbacks container, if you're looking for the name, because it took me forever to find them again. Throwbacks containers are the name of those, and they are very cute. And I added also some ornaments around the train tracks to make it very festive. And then I added some more tables and chairs so that you could actually sit and drink, because this is what you want to do at a cafe, I guess, sit and drink and enjoy your drink. And I made sure that you could still move around. I also switched around the festive tree into a big festive tree to make it like a bit bigger. I was first afraid that it would look weird, but now it is looking great. And yeah, I made sure that you could still move around from tables and not be stuck on the plaza. That's something I advise you to do, is like whenever you're building, move in every direction to make sure that you can go in all the places you want the people to go. And then I decided to incorporate a little sign to hide a cliff because the path was not covering it. And so I was like, okay, let's put a sign over there and some items to just hide the round cliff and the weird path that is not looking great. And then on the left side, I did not mention it yet, but you saw I placed a sofa. I did not dare to decorate too much because I still want to see how it is gonna look like with the entrance door of the house and everything. So I will time travel in a very short amount of time to see and finish that. And then I came back and added another table because I felt like it was quite empty on that portion of the build, and I wanted to have some kind of even repartition. And then you can see here, this is one of my struggle. I usually tend to hide them for you guys, but this is one of my struggle. It's like trying to fit the street lamp into the build and pushing all the items in every direction, because trust me, nobody is able to build without going back to their builds and like struggling to switch stuff around and everything. So it took me a while to struggle and find, and in the end I decided that the little wooden stool, I found it very beautiful, but it was not working, and I really wanted to have the street lamp over there. It was more important than the stool, so I decided to sacrifice it and move it somewhere else, and I'm very happy I did. Then you can see I time traveled and I saw that the sidewalk was missing under Coco's home. So I went back and added it, and then I added also some snow person over here because I was feeling like something is missing. And I decided to add some more natural elements here and there on the build. So the snow person, the glowing moss stool has like a snowball. And then you're gonna see in a minute, I actually really wanted to incorporate a glowing moss boulder in this build for a reason that I cannot understand. I really thought it was gonna fit, and the game kept on telling me it is not working out. But I was like, yes, it is gonna work out, and then I realized the game was right and it was not working out. So I switched for a glowing moss tool. And then I was still not happy because for a reason it was looking too much aligned. Also, then when I moved it around, the beach was blocking everything. So in the end, I had to sacrifice my perfect alignment. And I wanted to have some snowflakes here and there for some magical vibes. And I kept on thinking that the snowflake was gonna fit on that border of the beach. But apparently the game was like, nope, there is no space for a snowflake. So in the end, I dropped it. And here is the final reveal of this build. I hope you had an amazing time and learned a lot. If you did, don't forget to put a thumbs up to this video and consider subscribing to my channel because I am working on some amazing new videos for you guys. So those are coming. Thank you so much for watching and see you another time. Hong Kong for my lucky geese. Bye!